Hello, 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 Bridge.
Yes,
Is it
hello.
Bridge?
Yes, Bridge. Well, Bridge is
Bridge.
like my DJ name, so yeah. And then Bridget is like my legal name. For the
Okay,
sake of
Bridge,
this,
Bridget, Bridget.
yeah.
Just for me to remember.
Yeah, you could
Okay.
just call me Bridge. We'll make that easy.
Gonna have like a conversation with a new friend.
Okay. Perfect. All right, I'm ready
So,
for
how
you.
was your week? How today's what?
Today's Wednesday. It's been a really long week. I'm not gonna lie. I recently did a radio show at Lot Radio, and then my book club radio set came out, and it's been a lot of like reviewing the footage and clipping it and engaging with like the fans and people that have been loving the set. So it's been a long week, and I also like work too. So
Oh, okay. We have to talk about that set because I saw it last night and I was
yes,
like, oh,
yes, yes,
we need to
yes,
talk about it
yes.
and also about that. But first, I always like to know about the childhood. How was your childhood? First, this is the first question that I always ask. What do you wanted to be to when you were a kid?
Yeah, okay. When I was a kid, I really wanted to be an actress. Like,
Oh my God!
I did theater for 14 years. I love the stage. I love performing. I love engaging with the crowd. And so, ever since I was a kid, like, I've loved music, I've loved theater. I was born in Italy, lived there for about 7 years, and then lived in California for 15 years. And now I've been in New York for almost 10 years. But I really envisioned, like, being on Broadway and being on TV shows. And so DJing in a way is like a performance. It's like theater for me. It's an expression of myself through music and the crowd. But yeah, I always like wanted to be like Raven Simone growing up.
Oh my God, this is so crazy. I always wanted to be also an actress
Yes,
because I
yes.
wanted to be, like out there. But then I was like, maybe journalism is my
Yeah,
thing because
yeah.
that's what I wanted. I wanted to know about people, not like actually perform. But it's to put yourself out there, be on the camera and whatnot.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm also a DJ, so you saying that I totally understand because when I have a gig, like I'm into a character, like
Absolutely.
it's led with this event that is gonna be like a particular thing. So it's like a whole storytelling through your sound.
And I actually feel like as black women, as women of color, I believe that DJing is an ancestral like feeling for us because we're talking about music that comes from like African rhythms, syncopated music, and I feel like DJing has a way of bringing so many different sounds and communities together. So I I want to see like more black women and more like women of color DJing and not being afraid of expressing themselves through DJing.
I love this. This is something that we needed to hear for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so you wanted to be an actress, you became a DJ, but I know you also have like a past background
Yes.
because you come from marketing,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Tell
yes,
me
I
more
do.
about that. How you take that chance? It's like, okay, I'm gonna be a DJ now. How can you reinvent yourself?
Gosh, it's a great like word to use. I don't know how much you're into astrology, but I love astrology and I see it as like a guiding path. I have many important placements. So one placement that I think is really really good for this conversation is that I'm a Scorpio North node, which means that my life purpose is to constantly like reinvent myself like every few years. Reinventing myself through looking at like my hobbies and my gifts and actually expanding in them. So I did marketing and I currently still do marketing for the past 10 years. I also do strategy. I worked at companies like Spotify, Twitch, Tumblr, advertising agencies. But even while I was working there, I was creating communities. I had like a women's collective where we threw parties for women. I like started learning how to DJ because my husband bought me a DJ controller about 5 years ago, and he was like, "You said you always want to be a DJ, so here you go." And I said, "Oh, I guess I really have to learn now." And I just started like practicing. Oh, sorry. And then I had a few friends tell me like, "You need to go out there and put yourself." And I said, "Me DJing in front of people." And I did it once and I realized, wow, this is just like performing because I love music so much. I love dancing so much that it really felt like I could put my skill set behind DJing as well as performing. But I think the leap was because I believe in myself. I truly believe that I am destined to do whatever I put my mind to, and I really don't do anything half-ass. So in my marketing world, in my strategy world, I go 100%. When I'm DJing, I go 100%. When I'm content creating, I go 100%. I don't do anything half-ass, and as long as I believe in my ideas, I'm gonna make them come to life.
I love this bridge. Like so many things you said that I also wanted to ask, but you brought something that I'm very curious and interested about because I know you were born in Italy, but your parents are from Ghana. You live in New York, and I know everything is part of bridge as a DJ. So how do you connect all your identities into your whole show?
That is such a great question. You did your homework, girl. I think being an immigrant and living in the US as an immigrant, being Ghanaian, having Italian culture, it made me realize that music and community is all intertwined. From my parents' side, my mother loves gospel music from Ghana. It's called High Life. And I really didn't like it as a kid, but as I've grown older and I've connected more with my spirituality, I really love DJing like gospel house music in sets because no matter what you believe in, you can literally be an atheist. You can still feel like the energy of like ancestral callings when you listen to gospel house music. My dad loved disco soul music growing up. I mean, he had like all kinds of records like The Whispers, Earth, Wind and Fire, The Temptations. And so I really love DJing disco. Whether it's 30 minutes, an hour, sometimes 2 hours, like people really love disco. And so I really love DJing that. And then in general, my own love for house music, classic house music, comes from learning about house music in 2006 on YouTube when I was like, gosh, like 9 years old. And being able to bridge all of those identities to me actually allows me to bridge generations. It's funny when I came up with my name Bridge, it's my nickname. I didn't realize how on the nose it would be that I'm playing music for older generations or old souls or young people who haven't heard this music before. I'm able to DJ in a room full of people who are over 50 or under 25 because of those heritages and those identities that I come from.
So many things. I've seen your show once live and so much energy. Like my question now is like, how do you gain that? I mean, at the same time, I kind of know because what you said is so important. Like, you're so sure and you're playing the music that you love, the music that you kind of grew up with. So, I've seen your shows and your sets online, and I'm like, who is this diva? She's enjoying this so much. And as a DJ, I know, we need that confidence because we have to check the crowd, all the technical stuff, and also like having a show. How this is a question more like for DJs who are like starting or who doesn't still like have their own identity. How do you gain that confidence to be dancing and smiling and especially engaging with the crowd as you do?
That's a beautiful question. I think this question is twofold. The first thing is that not every DJ should feel the need to express themselves in a way that's not them, right? When you see me perform and DJ, that is literally who I am. That like there's no it's so hard to fake that energy, right? So I know that that's who I am. So I'm really just expanding that and sharing that natural part of me to the crowd through the music, right? The second thing is that it took me quite some time to get there. As I mentioned before, I was a theater kid, but I was bullied heavily as a kid. Bullied because I was an immigrant. I sounded different. I looked different. I was so scrawny, and I always had so much energy, and I'm like a nerd, so I was bullied heavily, and I feel like a lot of my spark really died down. But the only way that I found that spark again was through music and theater. Simple as that. And so as I started learning how to DJ and started getting more comfortable with my skill set and going, okay, I think I'm pretty good. I know how to mix and blend. I know my music. I allowed myself to feel more free, and I allowed myself to come back to that bridge, to come back to that young Bridget who was so good at expressing herself without anybody judging her, without realizing that, the world can be so cruel. And when I'm on stage, when I'm DJing, whether it's for 5 people, 20 people, 100, 600, you're getting the same energy because I innately love what I'm playing and I love being there to play for people. And anytime listening to music, I could be walking down the sidewalk, I'll be choreographing halfway through. innately who I am. So for DJs that are starting out, I think what's most important is making sure that you love the music that you're DJing. Do not DJ music that you think you should be DJing or other people are DJing. DJ what you love. And once you DJ what you love, you'll feel so comfortable on the set. It's kind of like, swimming or riding a bike. Once you have found that comfort, then you can start to really find who you are through that music, and the rest will come. And then with engaging the crowd, I do think that's a gift that I have. I don't think everyone can engage with the crowd really well because maybe some people are more introverts, or other people may not want to engage with the crowd. Maybe they really just want to focus on the music and the technicality, and that's great. I see DJing for me as a performance. I don't produce music. I think my curation and selections are the most important things. In order for me to create that whole performance, it's important for me to look at the crowd and look at people and make sure that they know that I'm also dancing with them and singing with them, and that this is for the both of us. We are both enjoying a bridge show. So, yeah.
It's like a ritual. Like the dance floor is definitely a ritual.
Yes.
A lot of things happen there. Okay, so many things, but now that you mention, I mean, I have to go back because I'm kind of into astrology also, and I'm a Scorpio sun, so I kind of understand what you're saying, but also I'm a Leo moon, so the opinion of others and how I perform myself into other people is so important to me because I just want to be loved, and that's what pretty much Leo is about. I want you to love me. So with this information, it's like, wow, I wonder, do you have any planet in Leo?
Oh my God, yes. I Well, let me tell you my chart. I'm a Pisces sun. So my birthday was just about 2 weeks ago, and I'm a Leo moon.
Happy birthday!
Oh, thank you. I'm a Leo moon and a Leo Mars, and it's specifically in my 7th house. We're going deep in astrology, and the 7th house is about the house of relationships. And so if you have a fire sign, specifically a Leo moon or a Leo Mars in the relationship part of your chart, it means that like connections with people are so deep, but they're also so like extravagant and playful, and I don't know. There's something that I really enjoy about my Leo moon, which is that I give a lot, but inherently people also really enjoy being around me. But the Leo Mars is really what gets the work done. The Leo Mars is my driving force in everything that I do. I have big dreams. I have big passions. I have a big heart. And I'm very sensitive too with the Pisces sun. But yeah, the Leo, I think people tend to think I'm a Leo, but I'm not. I'm a Pisces. It's the Leo moon and Leo Mars that I think really drive who I am. And the Aquarius rising is what makes me seem to others like a black sheep, as if I am sometimes at the wrong place at the right time,
Outsider.
I'm the outsider, exactly. But I actually find that a superpower because that means that you have no reason but to look at what I'm doing because it feels very challenging or weird or off-putting to you. But I'm already actually ahead of the curve. That's really how I see it. Aquarius placements are always ahead of the curve, but they're the most eccentric, they're the most humanitarianism, and they're the most like weird, but that's the beauty. We need more weird people in this world.
Definitely, we need that. So, Bridge, last night, actually less than 24 hours ago, I saw that post about this book club radio, and I saw it, and it was mind blowing for me. It was so beautiful, your whole outfit, and I know you did a tremendous work doing your research as a storyteller that you are. So I want the people to know more about the whole process of you doing this whole set.
Let's talk about that book club radio outfit. So the theme of that party was pirates, and they do a theme every single month when they play it. And honestly, shout out to book club radio for having me perform there. I've been wanting to play there for like 2 years. So when they said that the theme was pirates, I thought to myself, I've never seen a black woman be a pirate. But I thought about who were the women of color and the black women who were in the port cities during the golden age of piracy. So I did some deep research and understood that there were free women of color and Creole women who would be at port cities that would help the pirates like find places to sleep. They would provide them food. They would clean the ships. they basically ran that whole system of the port cities. And I thought to myself, okay, I love that they had an integral part in this. Second, what were they wearing? So I did some research on like what kind of clothing they wore. And thirdly, I wanted to take inspiration from the Creole women in the 17th, 18th century who took inspiration from French style clothing as well as their Sunday best clothing. And so I sent Shiona, my stylist, all of these references. And then she ended up sending me a few different stylists in Brooklyn who she thought could really match that. And when we got the fit together, I said, girl, do you think anyone's gonna know I'm a pirate?
You killed it.
And I was like, I think so, because it's a connection between Bridge, the diva, and the pirate theme. And then we had the fan, and we had, and in any point of that video, you can cut it and you can think, oh, it looks like she's going to church, right? It looks like she's like in her Sunday best. Or then it's like, oh, it looks like she actually is a pirate. You can flip flop. And I actually think that's the essence of who I am. I'm such an enigma at times that I'm a shapeshifter, I'm a chameleon. So I really loved having fun with that outfit. And I think it really exemplified and expanded the performance of the book club radio pirate set, as well as the music and the curation itself.
I mean, that the whole show, the clips that I watched, I was like, this is insane. The outfit, the hat.
The hat.
It's a hat, right?
Yes, the hat's from
Everything.
Sedera. It was just so, and she handmade that herself. It is gorgeous.
So that's it, was a whole show. I mean, I love the outfit, like you said, but it was like way more than that. And I remember when you posted your stories, you said creating an experience as a DJ. So how can we do that? You know, like new people who are starting, like I said, they don't have the confidence, and also they don't have the tools, because this is like a deep work that we need to do, you know, as creators. So how can we do that?
That's a wonderful question. I believe that DJs who do it for the music, they're already 10 steps ahead. You know, with the technology these days, it's really easy to be a DJ. Anyone can be a DJ, and as anyone can be a photographer. But what separates people who are good photographers and good DJs are the folks who understand like the history and the intention behind the music. I believe that part of the reason why I'm able to create an experience and why other people can create beautiful experiences is because they honor those that came before them. Now, with house music, we know that, you know, clubs were a sanctuary. They were not only a place where people could go and feel free and feel themselves, but it was also a safe place. When we look at the HIV and AIDS crisis that happened in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of clubs would be open spaces for people who were dealing with AIDS to go and receive support or to receive food or care or shelter. We also had the disco demolition of 1979, which forced a lot of queer black and brown men to go underground. Everyone talks about the term underground. They have no idea what that really means. And so I think that part of creating an experience as a DJ is recognizing that your job is a sanctuary. Your job is to make sure that people are feeling seen when you're creating music, that it's a symbiotic relationship between the both of you and the crowd. You're not playing just for yourself, you're playing for the crowd. That doesn't mean play the pop hits all the time, but you're doing a back and forth sort of dance. I also believe that creating community is important. It's taken me a while to find the Bridgettes or for them to find me, but I believe it's because I'm able to, one, publicly let people know that I know that house music is black music, so they know where I stand. And when they come to my shows, they know that I'm DJing with the intention of also educating them. And they're also educating me back because I'm learning what they like, I'm learning what they don't like, I'm learning about myself as a DJ more. I really feel like an experience, a DJ set experience is never ending. I'm always learning and perfecting like what my DJ craft could look like. And how I DJ this year might look really different than how I DJed last year, simply because I'm also growing myself.
But also, I think that also the crowd changed.
Yes.
You know, now we're here in New York, and one of the questions that I have for the end, but I'm gonna bring it now. In Ghana, I know that there's like this Dirty December that I'm dying to go. So I wonder, would you imagine playing there? How would you think house music would be received in Ghana?
Oh my goodness. First of all, you know I'm Ghanaian, so it would be such a homecoming to DJ house music in Ghana. because house music is black music. It comes from enslaved Africans from the West and Central region, syncopated music, call and response. So it would be incredible. I do know that in Nigeria, for example, in Lagos, that there are like Afro house and house DJs there. I also believe that it would be received really well in Ghana. I think in general, black people, African people are aware that a lot of this music is our music and that it's been commodified and bastardized, and it's been whitewashed a lot. So I feel though as though Ghana would love to receive a black woman, a Ghanaian woman DJing house music for them. I think it would be a beautiful experience, not just for me, but again, like for them. I think it would be a really, really great experience. And I feel like everyone is deserving listening to dance music in a way they haven't been before. So I would love that. I know one day it will happen. South Africa's been calling my phone, but you know, I'm waiting for Ghana to call me up too, but I need to make my way back there as well.
Attention, people from Ghana. We want to go.